Hello and indeed welcome to this week's Reeeely Film Club. My name is Liam. I'm joined once again by Mike. Hi Mike, how you doing?
Hi Liam, I'm alright.
Glad to hear it. This week we watched Let Me In, the 2010 American romantic horror film, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have mixed reviews about this one, really, don't we?
Yeah, this is probably the first film we've watched so far that's not really done well in our eyes.
No, it didn't really meet our expectations. I mean, it was critically received incredibly well, and personally, it didn't really do a lot for me, to be honest.
No, but before we get into it, I'll give you a bit of info on Let Me In. Released in 2010, like Liam said, is an American romantic horror film. It's a remake of the 2008 Swedish film Let the Right One In.
It is.
It stars Cody Smits-McPhee and Chloe Grace Moretz.
Moretz,
Yes.
So the basic plot revolves around this young boy who lives in an apartment building with his mother, and this young girl moves in next door with her father, and it turns out that she's a vampire. So the whole film kind of plays off on this, young love story, combined with the fact that she is a murderer, effectively.
Yeah, that was one really great point about Let Me In, is that it's the first horror film I've seen in years that actually made any attempt to make the audience care for its characters.
No, I agree with that, yeah.
Yeah, through the whole style of the film, what Matt Reeves did with it, it was very slow paced, and you actually got to know the characters rather than them just being needlessly killed off or cheap thrills, which you get in a lot of horror films.
Yeah. Nothing was rushed. I think there was no scene where I felt like, oh, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of that, because every single scene was played out.
Yeah.
And this isn't, it might not be seen as a good point, but I did like how every single scene had the time it deserved, and you learned, as you said, you knew these characters, you learned more about them, and that was definitely one of the film's strengths.
It all kind of fits in with the style, the performance, everything that kind of made Let Me In really make its audience care.
I think that's mainly down to the performances from the two main characters, two young children as well,
Definitely.
And they were just superb in their execution. Every single scene with them in together was really endearing, and it kind of made me feel like I kind of hoped it wasn't a horror film. Like, it could have worked just as well if it was just a story of just two kids, getting to love each other.
That was something I thought through the style of it and through the actors who basically carried this film on their backs for such young actors. Really,
they were the best thing about it.
Yeah, fantastic performances from both. But at times this film felt more like a drama than it did a horror.
It did.
Like Liam said, pacing, editing, everything in the film was really nice and really well done.
Yeah.
From a drama point of view, not so much from a horror point of view though.
We went into that thinking it was a horror film, a hardcore horror film.
And considering it had got such good reviews on other sites such as Metacritic and Rotten Tomato, I was expecting to jump out of my seat all the time. But
I was mainly bored.
Yeah.
It was very much gore more than anything else, wasn't it?
Yeah, they had quite a lot of gore, but Let Me In had this really annoying habit of any time it started to pick up any momentum that even resembled a horror film, it stopped it straight away.
Yeah.
So then you'd have this 2 minutes of a really, really exciting scene, and then it would just be back to this slow baby steps pace all the way, and it never really sped up or changed pace.
There was no build-up. There was no gradual build-up between action sequences, I thought.
The other point we wanted to mention is that probably again through this fault of killing off its own momentum before it can build any. The basic concept of Let Me In is great. But again, based on the 2008 Swedish film Let the Right One In, it's got a fantastic concept to work off. But then it didn't really seem to do much with it.
The actual concept, if you sat me down and you said to me, well, just reading the synopsis, a young girl is a vampire, meets a young boy who is being bullied. The two of them share this relationship while she goes off and be's badass. That concept to me is really appealing.
Yeah.
But in execution, I was just sitting there going, come on, get on with it. I mean,
yeah,
it was it just dragged so much. I think the main problem was there wasn't a strong enough narrative running throughout.
No.
I think there was more just a series of things that happened and led to the conclusion. I'm not going to spoil anything. The last 10 minutes were amazing.
Oh, yeah.
The last 10 minutes had me on the edge of my seat. I think the main problem with Let Me In was that the action sequences when they happened were really good, but there wasn't enough of them, and it killed the momentum, as you say, it far too quickly.
Shall we round up?
Yeah, well, what would you say? Would you recommend people watch this? Or?
I will recommend it to watch, but my advice would be don't expect a horror film.
No, not at all.
Go into it expecting a drama, and you'd probably enjoy it a lot more than we did.
Yeah, I think my own expectations killed this film for me.
On that basis, I'm going to give Let Me In a 5 out of 10.
And I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to give it a 6, actually. I think it's definitely above average. I think it has a lot of merits, but it wasn't just for me.
But, again, we're not the only people in the world, so...
It's true.
And it's true.
You can't say that on a YouTube review. What are you on about?
What the hell?
That's for people in the comments to argue over.
Oh, no. Mike, what have you done?
You've brought the internet.
You idiot.
It's all right. What have you done? Oh, well, thank you for listening.
Well, if you are still listening, please get in touch.
Yes, please do. You can subscribe to us, leave a video response, and leave your lovely opinions in that comment section below.
On our YouTube channel, that's YouTube/Reeely, or tweet us at ReeelyFilms, or use the hashtag ReeelyFilms.
Yeah, if you want to talk about any kind of film on Twitter, just use that hashtag and we'll probably retweet you.
Or look us up on Facebook, facebook.com/Reeely. And again, let us know what you think of Let Me In, let us know what you think of any other films, and join in this week's film club, which will be going on Thursday.
It will. And you can find out more about that on Reeeely.com, where we give you a weekly film to watch, and we then talk about it here on this channel.
Okay, thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.